Hi guys, Night here, how's everyone doing? Since I was a little boy, I loved first-person shooters. Well, who doesn't? When you are a child, it makes a sense to shoot things with big guns. When I was a little boy in Slovakia, we had no way how to get to MMORPGs or RPGs at all. So we did play Doom, Dukenukem 3D, Quake, Hexen, and all the others. But then happened something beautiful. In the gaming magazine Score we used to read was free CD of the first RPG game I ever played. The name of the game was Albion. Playing Albion changed my life, and for a long time I was hardcore RPG player. Long years I played exclusively RPG games and games with RPG elements. Starting with my best game Baldur's Gate 2, Might and Magic series, Gothic series, Heroes of Might and Magic series, and many others. I enjoyed the huge open world, progression of your characters, and of course, the loot. Loot was the biggest advantage of the RPG genre. While in first-person shooters you have at most 10 weapons, this is the same amount of weapons you change in the first 10 levels of Diablo 2. And yes, Diablo 2, the pinnacle of loot-based grinds. So much gear and so many dismembered demons. For a long period of time I did not touch any first-person shooter. Back then I considered FPS players as a casual kind of players who just shoot stuff without any purpose. But now we are in 21st century and mostly I play the Elder Scrolls series and MMORPGs like World of Warcraft or Elder Scrolls Online. I love how the world is open without any borders and you can do whatever you can. You know, and a ton of loot! Suddenly, in the mind of a clever man was born the idea to put some loot into the shooters, and the Borderlands series was born. I did play a hell out of Borderlands 2. Oh my god, that game is awesome. Then Division, then Warframe. Suddenly I was mindlessly shooting stuff for a loot, and I have to admit, I was having fun. I was hooked to looter shooters. But even when I played Borderlands, Division or Warframe, in small dark corner of my mind was the little knight, and he constantly whispered to my ears, Destiny. Yes, Destiny, the sci-fi universe that was forbidden to PC players for years. You were able to play it only on console, and this is something that my gaming soul would never do. For me, PC is not only the superior machine. For me, PC gaming is something more. It's a culture. It is the style of life. It is constant learning and developing of your skills and knowledge. I feel that the simple turning the on-off switch on console is missing something. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we finally had the opportunity to play Destiny 2 on PC. Dear friends, make yourself comfortable and welcome to my in-depth review of PC version of Destiny 2. I'm writing this review without any previous experience of Destiny universe, so the experience with the game may change when you play Destiny 1. I'm reviewing Destiny 2 as a brand new game, as the first of the series. This review is without spoilers, so please feel free to remove your hand from the spacebar. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe for my 500 subscriber giveaway. I worked on this video harder than on any other before, and it took me many hours to create, so please like the video if you like it. And feel free to share it with your friends and leave me a comment. I cannot wait to read your opinions on Destiny 2. So I'm going to take a look on every aspect of the game. And at the end of the review I will point out every cons and every mistake that Bungie made while making Destiny 2. Everything that has to be changed if Bungie really wants to be successful on PC. First, let me start with the release of Destiny 2 on PC. I can use only one word, flawless. Except the first 2-3 minutes when I was not able to log in, the release was flawless. It is understandable that when so many players want to join at once, you are forced to queue for entrance. but after 3 minutes I was in the game and ready to roll. The gameplay from the beginning was smooth, without any delays, lags or disconnects. Gaming experience was fluid. I did not experience any bugs or glitches at all. In other words, this was the best release of consoleized online game on the PC ever. Let's start with the graphics. Graphically, Destiny 2 sets the bar really high for all the other online shooters. But it's not important how good the graphic is. The important thing is the final feel of the game. The style, the art, the skyboxes. Especially the skyboxes are breathtaking. Just watch this. Bungie again confirmed that they are kings of immersion. The game is simply beautiful, atmospheric. Each and every texture feels real. And you can simply see that every house, every rock, and every street sign has its own place and history in the universe of Destiny. Graphic shines mostly in the combat. In combat, the effects, the explosions, ability animations, combat damage, and all the particles goes wild. Every hit from the weapon and every use of the ability feels right and looks right. Animation of the enemies is superb, and on the highest graphical settings, you feel like you play the game that costs 60 euro. Hand in hand with graphic goes the performance, and this is where Destiny shines at most. I have quite powerful rig, so with my overclocked R9 360, I had no trouble to keep frame rate between 70 and 80 FPS on the maximum settings. I did try to run it under minimum requirements on my old workplace PC, and on the lowest details I still got 30 FPS. If you have average PC, you will be satisfied with Destiny 2 performance. And with little tweaking of the settings, you would be able to achieve great image quality on high frames per second. Music is, by my humble opinion, the most important part of the final immersion. Music in Destiny 2 is the top of the industry and can be with ease compared with music in Skyrim, Borderlands, Elder Scrolls Online or World of Warcraft. Music greatly follows everything what is happening on the screen and progressively copies all the player's actions. Especially music is great in story missions, where it builds the atmosphere, rages in combat, open horrors in the gorgeous skyboxes, and quiets to the relaxing tune while exploring, just waiting to again burst into the battle trance with first bullet fired anytime needed. Sound is perfect, all weapons sounds incredibly good, explosions sounds realistic, and the enemies and the environment sounds are on the higher standard. One minor flaw is that you can clearly hear that the hit even if you hit the enemy 300 meters from you. Sure, if you are the old school gamer, you don't play games for graphics or music. Hell, you don't even need the sound. What you really should care is the gameplay. Is it interesting enough to grab you from the beginning and never let you go? Or will you hit the uninstall button before you hit the second level? Long story short, there is one image worth of 1,000 words. Let me show you some footage from intense battle in Strike. The good gameplay is what we hoped for before the release, and as you can clearly see, Bungie nailed it. The combat is intense, every shot from weapon feels right. Weapons themselves look incredibly good. Someone would say that they look too big and they take a lot of space in the field of view. But I guess that's just Destiny's style. Weapon animations are top notch and everyone, even the low tier weapons, feels powerful. The enemy scaling system feels right, so every new weapon brings something new to your play style, with mind to the difficulty. You never feel too powerful or too weak, not with level 1 weapon, nor with level 305 weapon. Each connected shot feels satisfying, and you can see the clear difference between hitting the weak spot of the enemy and hitting him just anywhere else. At the end of the day, we have to mention that in console universe, Destiny weapon mechanics are the best ones. But in PC universe, we have many shooters, especially tactical ones, as Arma or Ghost Recon, with realistic weapon mechanics, and Destiny cannot compete with those. But as we are talking about the online looter shooters, then Destiny 2 clearly compete for the prime in the weapon mechanics field. I want to mention the legendary and exotic weapons, where each of the weapons has unique playstyle, unique shooting pattern, and exotics even have unique abilities, as for example that enemies explode after being killed. The casting of abilities is on the other hand is intuitive and fluent, what is especially important in PvP. As soon as you unlock all abilities for your Guardian, you become an unstoppable powerhouse of madness, spreading death and despair into the never-ending ranks of the enemy. The AI of mobs is kinda dull, sure, they use covers or try to flank you, but that's about it. But do we need superb AI in the game where life spawn of the enemy is 2 seconds? No. All reviewers who don't like this are wrong. This is not Arma or Ghost Recon. This is mindless grind. Let me ask you a question. Do you complain about artificial intelligence of the Diablo enemies? No, you don't. Simply because you are killing them on the spot. And it is basically the same game but different perspective. But anyhow, you have to be a little bit smart to overcome the encounters. The boss battles are not what you know from classic MMORPGs like World of Warcraft. There are no complicated boss mechanics, but since we are locked in a first-person view, it's understandable that you cannot expect players to battle the boss with complicated movement mechanics. But there is still a challenge. Bosses use various AoE attacks, they make themselves invulnerable, while you fight hordes of new waves, and in seconds they strike and end your pathetic existence with powerful attacks if you are not prepared. The movement is fluent, and every character has its own jumping style. In Destiny 2, we have many jumping puzzles, so be prepared to practice your jumping. My personal opinion is that the gameplay of Destiny 2 is simply perfect. So you want to pay €60? What you get? Let's start with the story. I'm not going to spoil anything, but you have to understand that this is a review. And as such, I have to talk about the campaign. There was a lot written about the story of Destiny 2, and I would like to add my 2 cents to the issue. Story of Destiny 2 is simple as crap. Hell, there are exotic weapon missions more interesting than the story. But when I'm talking about the story, I mean only the story, not the missions. The story is so simple and so badly written that in comparison to the Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3 or Skyrim, it looks like hot girl in the raid. Sure, she's cute in a TeamSpeak, but as soon as the raid starts, she's dead before you blink. There is absolutely no explanation what is what in Destiny universe. No depth on the story. And the problem is not that you did not play Destiny 1. Hell, even the Destiny 1 players have absolutely no idea what that traveler is. Even in World of Warcraft, the story is superior. In History of Destiny, the Guardians defended the city against 2 large sieges. And they won. So forgive me, but they look like the most incompetent people ever. So far, I thought that the Alliance leaders and the Horde warlords in World of Warcraft are the most incompetent and useless people / orcs / trolls. But they are superheroes in comparison to the Guardians. Sure, you may say we were attacked by a whole armada. Sure, odds were against us. But simple, they were not prepared. And they got their asses kicked a big time. And don't make me start about the laziest traveler, okay? So basically the story is, we got our asses kicked. You are the only one who can save the whole world against the armada that overwhelmed thousands of guardians. So you do your job. You kick some ass, and at the end you kill Gary. That's it. The worst story ever. Period. Okay, let me cool down a little bit. So long story short, the story is bad. But there is a big but. The final product of the whole campaign is not so bad. The cutscenes are good and very well crafted. They are not Mass Effect good, but good. The voice acting is superb, especially Kite, but I was expecting more of him in the story. Basically, the cutscenes are dragged down by the poor writing. The mission design is awesome. Especially the latest missions are very well made, fun and atmospheric. You feel like in Alien movie where you are killing hordes of enemies in the insides of huge factory and a moment later you are fighting in space. Some people say that the story is easy, some say it's not. I feel that it's normal. You have to feel superior. That's what it's super single player all about, isn't it? My final verdict on the campaign is that in games like this you have to have multiple characters. But as in World of Warcraft, I refuse to do so, cause the huge condition to have multiple characters is to finish the boring story. And I'm not going to do that again soon. Maybe later when the sour taste leaves my mouth. Just one more thing for people who say that the story is short. No, it isn't short, it's painfully long. But this is online looter shooter, we don't play it for the campaign, do we? At least I don't play it for the campaign, I play it for the open world and the end game. So what else do you get for your €60? You will get 4 planets with the semi-open world. I'll explain that semi-open world later. Earth, Titan, Io, and Nessus. Okay, only Earth is a planet, but you get me. Each of those planets has its own environment and its own architecture. They are so different that it keeps the game interesting, and when you are sick of constant grind in one environment, you swap to another. And here we go. How is the grind, you ask? It's simply awesome. After you reach level 20, you can grind on any planet without any difference, and all you will achieve will be the same results. Some regions or some planets are more profitable, but only when you follow the exact farming plan. So in case of headless grinding, you can do anything and anywhere. And this is where Destiny 2 shines. In the semi-open world, Destiny does not force you to do anything what you don't want to do. Exceptions are the milestones, which are something like achievements that will reward you with the powerful gear. You don't have to complete PvP milestone if you don't want to, but you will get no gear. So we are free to do whatever and whenever we want. But what can we really do? Most important and rewarding activities are the public events. Public events randomly spawn on the maps very frequently, so you can complete them with random players in the region. Each event can be turned into the heroic event with even bigger rewards. Doing events is the most efficient way how to get legendary and exotic gear. One aspect I would change on events, that they always are the same on the same spot. They generate randomly time-wise, but on the same spot will always spawn the same one. It's good for farm chains, so you can perfect the event, but it gets boring in time. Then we have side quests and weapon quests. These are the standard side mission chains. Some have very interesting storylines, especially those exotic weapons quests are really hard to complete because they need you to complete various challenges. But long story short, side quests are good break from grind. Patrol missions are kind of very fast, random generated missions that appear on the map, and after a short mission, you are rewarded with a token. In a farm chains, those are the biggest source of tokens. Lost sectors are some kind of public dungeons, known from World of Warcraft or Elder Scrolls Online. Dungeons are dungeons where everyone can fluently proceed. They are short with couple of enemies and the boss fight at the end. Pretty straightforward if you ask me, just get to the chest at the end and kill the boss. I personally don't do them only when I need it for the milestone or at the end of the farming chain. So far you see that the open world of Destiny 2 has a lot to offer. You can easily spend 20 hours just grinding the open world enemies. Enemies spawn frequently, I will say instantly. There is no problem when you have more people in the zone. If you collect resources from the ground, everyone can pick up one. All loot is personal. Even if you don't hit the world boss and you are near, you can loot the chest. So simply Destiny 2 is a king of the grind. Every aspect of the game is perfectly orchestrated to be suitable for grinding. And we did not even get to the juicy stuff yet. One of my favorite activities in the game, and I'm not alone who likes them, are strikes. Strikes automatically matchmakes 3 players in the fire team for a dungeon. It's simple, the good dungeon that you all know from World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls Online, Guild Wars, and many others. Strikes are long enough to be interesting and short enough not to bore you. The mission design of the strikes is the best thing I ever seen in gaming, period. I'm not talking only about the gorgeous skyboxes and graphics, but the mission style, the progression through the multiple zones and environments make strikes just jewel of the game. Basically, you kill everything until you get to the boss battle. Boss is usually a larger version of the normal enemy, but you won't mind it because you will have more important things to do. Dodging bullets, for example. Again, the boss battles are difficult enough to be interesting, but still you have to be on your toes or you will easily wipe. Strike goes with 2 multiple difficulties, so you can choose whichever you desire. When you are done with killing NPCs and you feel that it's time to match your skill with the other humans, Destiny 2 has its own PvP section called Crucible. In Crucible, the game automatically matches you up with 7 other players in 4v4 random map, random game mode mission. Before I start with PvP, I want to say that I'm not experienced PvP player. Hell, I even want to say that I hate PvP in general. I have some heart condition that forbids me to play unscripted PvP like EVE Online or Black Desert Online. When I get jumped by players in unscripted PvP, my heart rate goes uncontrollably high and I feel like I'm passing out. I also have huge problem with scripted events. Give me 1 week and I'm able to learn the raid, but in unscripted PvP, where things happens chaotically, I'm unable to react. Hell, sometimes I forget even to shoot. So when I started to play Destiny 2, I told myself, no, I'm not going to play PvP. But game did give me the PvP milestone, with a huge gear upgrade. And the game told me first to play 2 matches, and then to win 5 matches. I was furious. I even wanted to stop playing the game. I hate when the game forces me to do what I don't want to do. So one night, I opened the bottle of wine, I drank myself, and I started to play PvP. And ladies and gentlemen, I love it. Hell, even I adore PvP in Destiny 2. I find myself not too suck in PvP first time in my life. Thank you, Destiny, for this experience. I'm not the best player in the world, but I enjoy the crap out of Destiny 2 PvP, and that's the important thing, guys. Check out my PvP montages, they will be in the description. So we are approaching the pinnacle of Destiny's endgame. Yes, the raid. I'll be honest with you guys, the biggest problem with the raid is the matchmaking. But I will talk about this issue at the end of the review. So since Destiny 2 is out only for 10 or 12 days while I'm writing this review, not so many people had time to complete the raid. Not because it's hard and you have to get to certain item level, but because the clan roster is not operational, or it's operational only for a few days, and the clans are slowly working on their Discord servers. The problem with the raid is that it is really a pain in the ass to get together 6 players who are confident with the voice communications and are familiar with the raid. The game is still fresh, so we need more time until we get familiar with the raid. But from my personal experience, the raid is something different than I was used to. Especially I was really surprised that it's really mechanic heavy. Just check my raid guide, just check any raid guide on the internet and you will see that you really need a good team to complete it. So long story short, the raid is interesting and nicely crafted, but there will be many players who simply will not do it because of the terrible matchmaking and the need of communicate in English language. And let's be honest, this is a big issue in Europe community. The encounters are fun, and the boss battles are really clever with focus to team communication. But there are certain aspects of the raid that I don't like. Simple, there is so much of arcade jumping and transporting stuff from point A to point B. I simply cannot honestly say that I like the raid. We are practicing the combat, we are perfecting the build, and in half of the raid you simply don't need it, because you are solving puzzles. My final verdict of the raid is that it's not my cup of tea, and I was expecting something else. But that's my opinion, try it, maybe you will like it. But so far, even without the raid, you have your 60 euros back in the content of Destiny 2. I'm pretty sure that if you have friends in your fire team, even the worst raid can turn out to be awesome. Now guys, I covered every aspect of the game that is good. Let me now talk about the rest, about the things I don't like in the game, about the problems that are okay on consoles, but are no in PC. First on the no list is the user interface, in short, UI. Okay guys, so we PC players are harassed for years with the consoleized user interface. I cannot stand fact that the UIs is not customable, that every time I want to change a weapon, I have to exit the game screen and open another screen. For my skills, I have to open another screen. For my inventory, I have to open another screen. For my journal, I have to open another screen, and so. If you check the pure PC games as Diablo or World of Warcraft, you instantly see that there can be open multiple screens at once and you still have control of the game on the screen. But we are getting used to this UI. We have to. That's why I'm really glad that the Destiny 2 has the best user interface I ever experienced in the consoleized game. The user interface is fast and it's snap. The weapon swapping feels good and it's intuitive. The work with internal inventory is clean and fast. Really good job, Bungie. Just one thing I wanna ask. Do I have to open the fucking inventory screen every time I want to swap the weapon in the certain position? Let's say you're in the huge battle with final boss, okay? Boss suddenly moved away from you. You need to swap for your sword for rocket launcher. What you have to do is to press F1 or B to open the screen with weapons. In this second, you lost absolutely any control of your character and the whole encounter. Now you have to click with your mouse to the rocket launcher and swap it, then press escape and exit. It takes only 2 seconds, Knight. Stop crying. Yes, it takes. But do it in the heat of the battle and you are dead. That's my look on the user interface. Now I want to talk about the open world of Destiny 2, or as I like to call it, the semi-open world. First of all, I want to say that once you are in the planet, there are absolutely no loading screens except the fast travel, but even then the loading is fast. So we are on the planet and we can go everywhere we want. Wrong! You can't go. You can't go where Bungie allows you to go. 90% of the buildings or of the terrain is inaccessible. This means that you are moving in some corridor and sometimes you encounter the open building to explore. This is not so bad if we consider that the space where we move is huge and it's 3D. This means many bridges, caves and so. But that's it. The borders alongside the road where you walk are inaccessible. Hell, you cannot even climb the hill if you want to descend on the other side. There is simple an invisible wall that will stop you. Guys, we are in 2017. Can we stop doing this, please? I'm not game developer. I have no idea why they're doing this. Maybe it is because the consoles have too limited memory, so they have to use limited textures. But with PC players, we are not going to accept it, Bungie. No. This looks like a rail game when you can only move in straight lines in between borders, and as soon as you move to the side, the game bumps you back. Sure, there are large open areas where you feel like the world is open, especially in Nessus. But as soon as you approach the borders, you are done. No more open world. Second thing, if you want to move from planet to planet, you have to suffer terrible long loading screens. Okay, there is ship flying, but still the loading screens are too long. Even on high-end PC with SSD drive. Please do Destiny 3 in one environment where we can progressively move from one area to another. The same problem was in Witcher 3 where you had huge areas, but that's it. You were unable to progress fluently from one into the another. Enough of this bullshit. We are in 2017. Make real open world. The same goes for exploration. The only thing that you can find in open world are chests and resources. It's simple, I like it, but it feels like this beautiful world has nothing to give you back, especially in story missions. They are perfectly crafted, but don't go anywhere where you are not supposed to go, because there will be nothing, I tell you. Just empty road or empty hallway. I miss some hidden bosses. I miss some secrets with exotic weapons or some Easter eggs, like Head of the Doom on Pike or something. Guys, again, year 2017, we have to move or put some more memory to the consoles if it's not enough. Before I enter the worst thing of all of them, let me talk a little bit about the character development. I want to say that all characters feel and play differently. Titan, Hunter and Warlock, all of them have different playstyles. The only problem is that there are only 6 builds. I'm not talking about 6 meta builds. There are 6 builds and that's it. And don't give me bullshit about different rift abilities. Everyone uses only one. If there are 2 rift abilities and one is superior to another, this is not meta. So you can build your character with one bullshit, or if you don't like this bullshit, you can go and fuck yourself, cause there is only one another bullshit. So pick one and stand into the corner. Guys, really? Look at the Borderlands. There is infinity builds for every character. Hell, check Warframe for fuck's sake. 1 billion of combinations. I want to ask one thing, Bungie. Do you think that your primary customers, the console players, are so simple-minded that you will give them 2 builds per character? Just imagine that the same would Blizzard do to World of Warcraft. Can you imagine that revolution that would happen? Hell, in World of Warcraft, you have to progressively change your perks how you proceed in the raid depending on the encounter. 2 builds per character. Oh my god. If you want to do Destiny 3 for PC, we want some depth in character development. I want to guess what the hell is this guy using in PvP, cause he's dominating me. I cannot even do Destiny 2 build guides on YouTube, cause it's pointless. Can you imagine me talking about builds? Hi guys, Knight here. So, today we are going to talk about the Warlock build. So, take this, but if it does not work for you, then take the another one. You just destroyed a huge portion of content that we cannot create. You can counter myself with the statement that there are multiple gear and weapon variations. That's crap. You can equip only 2 legendaries and you are using the best you have. There are no legendary sets or something that would alter your gameplay. Please Bungie, we PC players love to study. We love to explore possibilities. We love to create builds and to share them with the public. We want to create meta. Give us the chance. Okay, if you think that this is the biggest issue in Destiny 2, you are wrong. The worst thing in the game, and not only in Destiny 2, this is the travesty to the whole PC gaming. I don't care that the console players don't need to communicate. We love to communicate. We have to communicate. We use Discord, we use TeamSpeak, we use Mumble. We do create guilds. We love matchmaking. So how dare you to give us €60 game with absolutely no global chat? Not only global chat, but you cannot even whisper to a player who is not your friends list. If you meet a guy in public area and you want to ask him about the gear or something, you simply cannot. You have to open a page, you have to find if he's there, but in meantime he disappears. You cannot interact with anybody. You cannot just come to somebody, press the button and talk to him. Fuck off the emotes, fuck off the turning table, I don't care. I want to talk to everyone in global chat and ask for guide. Or ask for a fire team. And don't make me to start about the Nightfall and the raid matchmaking. Are you fucking serious, Bungie? What crap is this? Okay, I will explain. So to get to Nightfall Strike, Nightfall Strike is higher difficulty of Strike, or to the raid, you have to go, and now listen carefully. Now you have to go to the Bungie website. There you have to create your party adverb. Then you have to add people who will respond to your Battle.net. And then you have to invite them to the fire team. What the fuck? Are you idiots? Where are we in 2004 in Vanilla World of Warcraft? Even there was a global chat. I understand that the higher difficulty of strikes and raids must be made with custom party. The same works for mythic dungeons in World of Warcraft. But give us public chat for fuck's sake. When I learned about this, I was like, what? Are you serious? You know, but my buddy Metin, he told me on a Discord how to create a party, and I was like, are you kidding me? In 2017, I have to exit the game to find a team. This is the most uncomfortable issue in the whole history of gaming, period. Every time I look for Nightfall or a raid party, it takes at least half hour, and everyone, absolutely everyone, is so pissed off. You would not believe this. I've never experienced anything so unpleasant like this. What do you even think? Fuck this shit. God thank for Discord. I will find a party there. I'm not going to play your game. We still have clans, yes, and we can create party in clan. Please Bungie, give us global chat. Give us the recruitment chat so we can do more content. The community is so depressed that no one even types in team. In 1 week, only one person replied to my greeting in a team in Crucible or Strike. Community is so diverse that no one is using voice, no one ever. Maybe it doesn't work, because in 1 week I was greeting everyone, every group in the matchmaking, no one ever replied. Guys, this is a huge issue. I have feel that the only reason why Destiny 2 is online is because you have better control over piracy. Guys, this is a huge problem that Destiny has in the core mechanics. There is no reconnect into the matchmaking groups, for fuck's sake. Only custom groups stay together. And trust me, disconnects happens. If you disconnect in Strike or in Crucible, there is no way you can reconnect back to the part you were before. We want our game complete. You cannot treat PC audience with the same ignorance as you treat the console players. We are a community that works with games, lives with games, learns with games. We are not simply switching up the console for casual afternoon in parents' living room. We want our game complete and without bullshit like this. And if you deliver, we will love you, we will nurture you, we will defend you, and most importantly, we will give you all our money. See CD Projekt Red that made Witcher, or Bethesda. Those companies treat PC players with respect, and we give them respect back. I'm sure that you know that, Bungie, because you did the flawless PC port. But in the core of the consoleized game are mechanics that should not be in the PC game. Okay guys, this script has already 17 pages and I feel like I did say everything I wanted to say about Destiny 2. My final verdict: Destiny 2 is for PC players something new, something that it couldn't experience before. Bungie invested a lot of time into the PC port of Destiny 2, and the result is flawless release on PC. Servers are stable, and you can experience the full portion of Destiny universe without any distractions. If you live through boring story, you will emerge to the rich and rewarding endgame, where you can enjoy the semi-open world, public events, side quests and patrol missions. You can use matchmaking to get you to strike and unleash the hell to the ranks of the enemies. You can spend 12 hours in PvP with ease, and you can lose the whole night while raiding with friends. Long story short guys, Destiny 2 is a hell of a game, worth every penny from the €60 tag. If you are looking for a good solid looter shooter with awesome immersion and one of the best gameplays I ever experienced, then Destiny is a game for you. Thank you Bungie for this experience, and I cannot wait for more expansions. I'm really looking forward what you have prepared for us in the future. I will end this review with my statement. Destiny franchise is destined for PC. If it was made for the PC from the beginning, it would be a much bigger success. Guys, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. Don't forget to subscribe for the 500 subscribers giveaway. Hit the bell button so you don't miss the giveaway video. And as always, have a good one. Bye bye.